Quiet luxury. I see it everywhere out of nowhere, and if you do too, maybe watch this video before falling for it. I'm not on TikTok, but apparently quiet luxury started there. I caught it when it was all over YouTube. And after seeing it a lot, I was like, okay, I'm gonna, do my own research and learn about it. And what I found out is that everybody has their own definition of quiet luxury, which makes sense. First of all, we're not talking about a clear formula, just a concept, a very basic concept. And if, for example, you're more of a minimalist, your general idea, I'm not saying you're loving it, but your general idea of quiet luxury is probably positive. But if you think spending, I don't know, more than $50 on a top is like ridiculous and unnecessary, you probably have an overall negative opinion about it because of the word luxury in it. And after all, it also comes down to your own taste in fashion. What you consider quiet, what you consider luxury. So what does it mean to me? The first time that I saw the quiet luxury, in my brain, I broke it down to quiet and luxury. And quiet to me, when it comes to fashion, quiet means, soft colors, minimalistic design, no unnecessary design, absolutely no micro trend, and no scream for attention. When you're saying quiet, that's what you mean. At least that's what I think. And if you have watched my video, I normally use the word low-key instead of quiet, and I say low-key fashion, low-key chic. So that is what I think of quiet. And then luxury to me is about longevity and perfect fit and very nice fabric and very appealing to look at. So I didn't mention price. To me, luxury is a lot more than a price tag. And this is what I think. If, for example, you give me a pair of pants and you tore the tag off and you tell me, do you think it's a quiet luxury or not? Those are the things that I'm going to be thinking. I'm going to touch it, I'm going to wear it and see how it fits, and then look for the detail and see if it's really appealing to look at, if it's like a nice piece or not. It can be from Zara or it can be from, I don't know, whatever designer brand. So that's how I perceive it. So now that I gave you my own definition of quiet luxury, let me tell you why someone like me who creates fashion content, low-key fashion content, is so iffy about this trend. Because it's so basic. When I started doing my own research, I spent hours to see, okay, what content is out there, and then it just felt like there's nothing. It was just super basic. It's just like a box. Buy this, don't buy that. Buy no logo, and then neutral colors, and you achieve the quiet luxury look. I didn't get much out of it, and when I looked at the explanation, I actually didn't agree with a lot of it. So it feels like a made up concept, and I didn't care for it. Luxury doesn't equal formal, at least to me. And pretty much all the videos I saw, they were talking about a formal style and items you need to use in a formal attire. And that's kind of funny because, when you tell me what is luxury, I told you it's about longevity, it's about fabric, and it's about the detail. And casual, formal, and smart casual, there are different types of styles that you fluctuate from one to another depending on what you're doing and where you're going. You don't dress formal all the time. It just feels like dressing a Barbie doll. And if you wear a suit and go to a beach, it doesn't matter what you're wearing, it's inappropriate. And it feels like there is no room for quiet luxury to be like a casual outfit or a smart casual outfit. There's no room for leisure clothes, and it doesn't make sense because it doesn't matter what you do, you're gonna fluctuate between these styles. Of course, you're gonna have like a prominent type of style. For example, you dress more formal, or you dress more casual, or smart casual, but you're gonna fluctuate between the three of them. You're not gonna be all formal, and you're not gonna be like all casual. So you can't define one style just focusing on one of these. It just doesn't make sense. Hopefully you get my point. Feels like a marketing campaign. You know, when you don't go deep on a subject, anything can be labeled quiet luxury. And, you know, people, especially younger generation, go by to achieve that look. And, you know, the job is done. The campaign was successful. And you know, it seems like happening right now, because when I was looking for quiet luxury, there were ads that popping up for me, you know, a woman's collection, spring, summer, quiet luxury collection. And then when you click on them, you feel like, okay, first of all, 30%, 40% of the product on this collection are not quiet luxury by, you know, anyone's, you know, definition. And it just they're just rebranding same product that they have, and, you know, put a quiet luxury on it, and, you know, selling it in a different way. So don't just buy the, you know, label quiet luxury. It can be just a marketing campaign. No logo, no logo. I feel like I saw that in pretty much all the videos I watched. Don't buy designer items with big logos, with logos at all. I normally don't buy items with gigantic logos. Like, for example, this bag from Louis Vuitton. I just don't buy anything with gigantic pattern. I just don't like it. It's not because, oh, you shouldn't, that won't be considered quiet luxury. It's more of my taste, you know. I feel like from fashion perspective, first of all, I don't find it very flattering. Like, I don't like the logo. And second of all, I feel like it really limits you what you can do with it. You know, it's just too big. And third, I don't feel like a brand should charge you that much money for you to be their, you know, free billboard walking around. I don't like it. But I don't disregard an item just because when you look at it, you know it's from that designer brand. You know, not every logo is like the Louis Vuitton logo, and you know, they're not, even Louis Vuitton, not all their bags are like this one. They have more discreet versions too, that, you know, it's from Louis Vuitton, but they're not like unflattering. So to me, it doesn't look cheap. So having that general rule to discard every item just because they have visible logo doesn't really make much sense. And finally, I don't care for the word luxury in it, quiet luxury. I know all the videos I create are about fashion, high fashion, designer products, and I'm not saying I'm against that. I'm against involving money so directly with art, with style, with fashion. My opinion is, if you have money, or more power to you. When you're shopping, you can pick from a broader, you know, range of products. And if you shop designer, you probably are going to get more unique items because, you know, each season they have a limited collection and they put a lot of effort into delivering a piece of art. And definitely that's going to be more unique than like buying something from the general brands. But that should be to yourself, you know, like, yeah, well, do it if you can, do it if you can't. Fashion is not all about money. It doesn't mean that if you have a limited budget, you can't look fashionable. I definitely don't think that. There are so many brands that are affordable right now out there, and you can definitely dress pretty well shopping from those brands. So I don't like the luxury kind of in it. It just feels like, to me, it feels like I am shopping designer, but I don't want to show it off in the most obvious way, like in the logo. But I do want you to notice that I paid a lot of money for this piece, and it just kind of like a crying for attention, but not in the most obvious way. It's like, being part of that cool club, the rich club. And it kind of makes sense why it started in like TikTok, but that shouldn't be your goal. I spent a lot of time studying fashion, and I'm telling you, it's not just about money. Of course, if you have more money, you can have better option. It can be a lot easier for you to put together a very beautiful wardrobe and dress better. But it's not just about that. There are a lot of people who have a lot of money, and I look at them, I'm like, oh my God, how could you do that? You know, how could you buy that from that specific brand? No, a lot of it comes down to your taste. And I think you should have more focus on improving your taste and learning about how to dress well and, you know, classic, fashionable, than putting yourself in a box and trying to check, everything that you get, classic, wear, button-up shirt, all that. It's art. Fashion is art after all, and there's no single formula for it. And we're not robots. Whatever, whoever is your source, if you're watching Why Before Buy, make sure to leave some room for your own style, for specific things that you like. You should not follow everything directed 100%. No, you are a person. You have probably some likes and dislikes. I'm trying to be as general as possible. But for example, for me, I like the color purple. I'm not going to be talking about color purple in all the videos, because that's not practical for everyone, and that's my personal color. But there are some things I like, and I add those to my style, because we're not here to look just like each other, constantly all the time. No, just put more focus on understanding fashion and trying to look your best and not care about how other people are going to perceive you. Haters are going to hate you. It doesn't matter what you do. And I think that confidence that comes from within will show easily through your style and through your manners. And you don't need to, try too hard to dress quite luxury. So yeah, that was my personal opinion on this viral trend. Make sure to write yours in the comments. I'm curious to hear them. And I see you in the next video.